Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. It's the 6th of March, and it's our very first N64 review. So I thought, what better way to kick this off than with a Pokemon game? And it's the first Pokemon game I've reviewed on the channel. So, this should be interesting. I do remember playing this on my N64, because I kind of like Pokemon. But never mind. This is actually quite a good game. So we're going to have a look at the battle mode, which basically you can just have a play against CPU opponents. This is the first time I've played it in a few years, so I'm probably going to be absolutely rubbish at this. But let me give you an idea of how the game plays. But look at the 3D models, aren't they fantastic? I've never really understood why, but the Pokemon voices are never included, and it's the same with the Game Boy and the DS versions as well. You still today don't get the Pokemon authentic sounds, which is really weird, but I guess it's something to do with licensing, or that they can't pay a million actors to do the voices. I don't know, but nevertheless, this doesn't hinder the game any at all. This is great. The animations are lovely. And it's kind of like a big version of the Game Boy games, just the battle system, obviously. There's no sort of catching Pokemon here. But this was released back in 2000 for the EU and North America as well, and Australia as well. Japan, it was released in 1999, so they got it a little bit earlier than we did. But never mind, it is a Japanese franchise after all, so there we are. But yes, you see here, we're two electric-type Pokemon here. Pikachu, obviously, being one of the most iconic and most recognisable of the Pokemon. And we're up against Magnemite. So, not really any good against these two, because they're both electric types. So, the way it works is basically each type is weak or strong against another type. So, electric is weak against water. Plant types are strong against electric. And, you know, that kind of things. Plants are... plant Pokemon are weak against fire Pokemon, and so on and so forth. So it's always good to pick a team that's kind of well balanced. So here we are with Charmander now, who's a fire Pokemon. I probably haven't picked these very well, to be quite honest with you, but it uses the controller really nicely. A majority of the moves and selections are done with the yellow directional, which is really easy, as you can see here, picking moves and stuff. You select your battle by pushing A, and then you can use the shoulder buttons to have a look at the actual powers that your Pokemon has available to them. And then you just flick your switch up and down, left or right, and your Pokemon will then, in turn, do the selected movement, which is really, really cool. But it's just graphically, presentation-wise, this is really, really nice. There was a sequel as well, Pokémon Stadium 2, which I'll probably cover as well. Which obviously extended the amount of Pokemon you had for battle, because it incorporated the other Pokemon games as well. So that was really good. I think it was Gold, Silver and Crystal, the Pokemon Stadium 2, but this one incorporated the red, blue and yellow. Now the clever thing with this was you got a pack transfer piece of hardware, and you could slot that into your controller. And you could transfer any Pokemon over from your Game Boy game. So if you had a level 100 Charmander, you could incorporate him in and use him specifically in the game, which is great. So anything he's learnt in the game on your Game Boy, he'll also be able to use in the N64 Pokémon Stadium, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, all 150 Pokemon are present and correct in this game, so you've got lots to choose from. Now, don't despair if you haven't got any Pokemon available on the Game Boy, or you don't have the games, or you just literally don't have access to them. You can rent Pokemon, which you're going to see a little bit later on, because I'm going to show you one of the Stadium modes anyway. And I'm getting my butt kicked royally here, which I thought might happen anyway, but never mind. I was just trying to sort of get myself back into the way of playing this again. But the graphics are amazing. I really love the 3D models of this. This was kind of the game I think everybody really wanted. The graphics and everything else make this game such a joy to play. And, you know, like I said, this is the game everybody really wanted to play, to have full 3D models, full colour and all that stuff, which is absolutely fabulous. And it hits the mark on every level as well. Each attack has its own animation. The Pokemon get recalled back into their balls when they die, and they get thrown out as well when you're replacing them, which is absolutely brilliant. And the animations are really cutesy. I like that. Look at that one. Meowth there, going against our Squirtle, which is great. I love the attention to detail as well. Look at the shine on Squirtle's back there. It was absolutely brilliant. You can see there's my range of moves I want to use, and I can just flick up, down, left or right, and it will automatically do it for me for the next attack, which is great. Sound effects are nice as well. They're not amazing. They're not like, you know, the normal quality that you would come to expect, but that's only a minor niggle. It's not going to affect the overall score of this game. I'm not doing very well, actually, so I'm probably not going to win this. But, you know, the point of this was to actually get myself back into it and to try and understand how it played again. Because I do tend to try and do these reviews fresh off the cuff rather than pre-play. Some games I need to pre-play, but others not really. So I thought I'd just dive straight into this one and give you a raw reactionary review, which is great. I love the fact they've got little portraits as well. I think that's really nice. The sound effects, again, like I said, they are good enough. They are good enough. And you've got this announcer as well, which is always on the ball. He will actually voice the attacks that you're doing and stuff as well, which I really like. Kind of adds a new dimension to the game as well. Actually makes you feel like you're in a stadium, actually going against Pokemon on the battlefront, which is really, really good. I see there I did lose against Meowth, which is kind of embarrassing, but never mind, never mind. Right. I want to show you the stadium mode and stuff now. So let's go into the Pokemon Stadium itself. You can see here there's the Game Boy option there. You've got battle you can do with your mates as well, which is brilliant, by the way. You've got a few mates gathered around your N64. You can just use the pre-planned Pokemon. So here you go, level 50. There's all the different levels there. We're going to go 1 to 100. And you can see there Great Ball, Ultra Ball and Master Ball are all grayed out because we haven't got to that point yet. So we're going to use the standard Pokeball. You can see there, registered Pokemon are the ones that you've imported from your Game Boy games. But here we are. The full range of Pokemon are actually available to use. So I'm going to use... now, you can pick 6, but you can only use 3. So you've got to pick carefully. I'm going through these. And you can see the amount here is absolutely amazing. Lots and lots to choose from. So I'm going to go with... No, not Haunter. Gengar, that's why. That's it. There you go. We'll go with him, and we will go with Onyx, Stone type. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, my little lad wants me to go with Eevee, so we'll go with an Eevee, I think, because yeah, why not? We'll have a Zapdos as well, but I will pick an Eevee because my little 4-year-old wants me to. So we'll do that. So we'll pick an Eevee. Hopefully that will bring me luck. So we're going against this guy, who I believe is called Q-Ball. That's imaginative. You can see his Pokemon there. He will use 3 of those. I will use 3 of mine. You don't know which ones he's selected, so it's all a random choice. So it's always best to try and pick ones that you know are going to stand a decent chance. So, for example, if he chooses a plant type, I definitely want my fire type. So here we go. I'm picking Charizard straight off the bat, and he's going with a Growlithe. Now, here's where the problem lies. We're both fire types. So I'm going to see what I've got in my attacks that I can use that aren't fire types. So Fly is a really good one to use, because once you fly up high, anything he does to me now misses, which is really good fun. And then what I'll do then is I'll swoop down and punch him in the face as I go into the next attack. Same with when you burrow underground. You go underground for one move, and then in the next move you'll pop out underground underneath the Pokemon that you're trying to attack, which is great. So he's going to bite me now. There we go, hardly touched me, and I pretty much knocked half his health off with that last one. So I'm going to again, let's see, Sword Dance. Now this raises my attack, so basically even the moderate attacks will suddenly look a lot more impressive and do a lot more damage than your standard attacks, which is quite nice. So I am going to, let's see, yeah, let's give him a Fire Blast. See what this actually does to him with the increased damage. It's not very effective, but it did knock a bit off him there. He's going to use Leer on me now, which is going to decrease my defense. So there we go. But you see how it all works now. One attack will always be beneficial to your class of character, which works very, very nicely. I just love this is just such a playable game and would appeal to most age groups as well. It's very easy on the learning curve, so basically, you know, I would say it's probably it's decent for youngsters and decent for any just Pokemon fans in general, really. You don't have to have great game knowledge, you don't even have to have knowledge of what Pokemon are to enjoy this game. It's just a lot of cutesy little creatures beating the hell out of each other, and that's exactly how it should be, isn't it? But there we go. I really, really do enjoy this game. I think it's very, very good fun, and I think if you've got a few mates around and you can battle against them, it just opens it out to a whole new system, really. And if you've got, you know, a couple of mates, a pizza, some beers, this game gets increasingly funnier as the alcohol kicks in. It's a good game. It's a good game. I would highly recommend this to anybody, not just Pokemon fans. I mean, if you're a Pokemon fan, you're going to lap this up in quantities. Absolutely, you're going to love this. And but even if you're not, and you just like sort of these battle games, this one's a little bit different. If you're not a Pokemon fan or you don't know what Pokemon are, then this one's a little different for you. But absolutely love this game. It's very, very good, and I've got to praise Nintendo for doing this game, because it's really, really good. The box art's nice as well, and it actually got Player's Choice Award as well, which is another great thing to have on the front of your box. But yeah, it came with the N64 Transfer Pak, which was really nice little addition as well. Actually came within the box, so you didn't have to buy that separately. Again, it's just they had everybody's best interests at heart when it came to this game. So you could, and I think the transfer system's a really, really good idea. So you weren't restricted to playing the low-level Pokemon here. You could just incorporate yours into the game and play the ones that you've been familiar with on your Game Boy journeys. So it's kind of more personal. Now we're going to switch to Eevee and see how we get on with him or her or whichever. You know, can make up your own mind. So String Shot slows me down a little bit, but I've got Quick Attack, Double Edge, so we'll give him a bit of a Quick Attack here and see what happens. Here we go. Boom. So there we have it. Quick Attack. And Poison Sting. This is always a bit of a nasty one when it comes to Pokemon, especially if it takes hold and it actually does poison you. At this point in time, it's not. So that's good, because it will do damage over time. Same with burns, like fire types can burn, and they'll take additional damage in other rounds. So there's a lot to do. It's kind of it's a good strategy game, because you've got to have strategy here to be able to take down your opponents. Each Pokemon will have like a standard attack. So if you're not the same type, or if you haven't got any attacks that will counter attack, you can just use the standard ones like Quick Attack and Double Slap. All that kind of stuff is all available to you. So you can just get in, mix it up, and have a good slamming time with your Pokemon. So here's Paras, as they would say, and basically he would be good if I bought out Charmander again, but I want to use Eevee and just obliterate him. Haha. You see, there's Stun Spore. Now if I get caught in that and I get paralysed, so now I've got the paralysed on my character, it doesn't mean that I can't do anything. It just means that I've got a chance of being paralysed in the next round. So when Paras uses growth here, his special attack is raised. So there's lots of things that you can do, lots of things to learn, and I would say get out there and have a go. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, and hello to all new subscribers, by the way. We are 5 away from 100, so thank you ever so much for tuning into my humble little station, channel even, and I will see you next time. Remember to like, share and subscribe. I'll be back in the next video. Bye for now!